so today we're going to be unboxing the TR160 cockpit from Track Racer with a bonus unboxing at the end. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off by unboxing the seat here. I have the trusty pair of scissors. Really excited, it's been a long wait. Okay, let's just get in here. Alright, there it is. Alright, first box done. This is really cool. It's my first ever seat based on a GT car, so this is going to be fantastic. So this is the Track Racer GT seat. Geez, I'm actually quite impressed, eh? I'm just going to pop this aside now and we'll unbox the fragile one, so let's get into that. Nice. This must be the quick release. Not sure what's in there just yet. We have our brake upgrade kit. This is our caster wheels we got for the cockpit. Easy to move around. And the plates, they're actually a lot heavier than I thought. Did notice upon inspection there is just a little bit of damage there, but it's nothing really to complain about. Let's get into the base build now. Okay, so as you guys can see, comes with some nice foaming on top, very nicely done. Just wanted to point out that everything comes in a Ziploc bag. Helps to keep everything really organized, then you don't risk opening something and parts going everywhere. Good job, Track Racer. Okay, so starting off, we have our long piece and our side piece. We have 8 M8 bolts here and our provided Allen key. All we're going to do here is just bolt this corner piece to each side. There are 4 bolts that go on each side, and that just all screws together. We're going to just be doing the same on the exact same side. Okay, so the next step here is to put this bit of cross bracing on. We're going to be using these corner brackets, so one either side at the top and then one either side at the bottom here. We don't want to snap off the little tabs because they fit nicely into the little slots there, so keep those on. And then we will fit these spring ball nuts in. When you go to put them in, make sure that you keep the threaded side on the outside of where you're screwing because it will clash when you go to screw it in. Okay, so we have our cockpit upside down. We've double checked that the measurements are all straight and square. Now moving on to the caster wheels. Here it is pre-assembled with a nut on top. Okay, so step 4, we are going to be putting on the bit of 40x40 profile for the seat bracing. As you can see here, the right angle bracket has 2 tabs, and because our slot here is facing horizontal, that will fit in okay, but because our tabs are facing vertical, they won't sit nice and flush, so we need to actually break those off. I just have a pair of pliers and break it like that. Okay, so now once we have those in, we can measure everything to get everything straight. 344mm there, 344mm there. So we know both of these are now straight and square, and both of these are now straight and square. We can go ahead and do those up. Okay, so if I go down here, we can see I've pre-done the 4 alignment holes. So we're going to be having one of these corner brackets, and I'm going to be putting it just on this side here as a reference. Okay, so we have finished our vertical uprights here for the wheel deck, and we've made sure that they're both straight and square as a temporary guide for the time being, just before we construct the wheel deck there. So as we can see, that's 462mm to the corner bracket here as well as our spirit level provided by Track Racer is straight there. It's also nice and straight there. So I'm going to be mounting both of these plates on the inside of each vertical extrusion. Then we're going to be progressing on to these parts here, and then finally these two, and then I have the front mount for the semi-cube just in here. So I've pre-done my T-nuts on the inside of the slots here, so we can just line the red brackets up, screw them in, and then copy it onto the other side. Okay, cool, so the front mount seemed to have worked out. We've obviously got everything straight. Just leaving the top part loose here, just for any adjustability later on down the track. We have our seat slider here that we need to bolt onto the 40x40 profile. But before we do that, we need to make sure it's facing the correct way. So easiest way to tell basically is these little teeth here that this slider moves back and forth on need to be facing in. And also the lever here needs to be facing forward. If it's facing the outside on each end, you can't get the seat rail on because it fits on the inside that way. Also, just for reference, if you are struggling to move the slider back and forth manually, bolt down the back hole to the profile, apply a bit of weight on the top slider here, lift up the lever, and then you can slide it back and forth as so. We have our brackets made up onto the sliders. We can go ahead and start bolting them down from here. So I'm just going to use the back of the 40x40 profile as a reference and then just as I need to. Just had to move the two 40mm extrusions out 5mm to compensate for the lever here, because when I initially tested it, one side went in, but then this side here was overhanging on the slider by about 10mm, so I had to split the difference. So here we can slot it in this side, and then here we've got a little bit of pressure which should slide in like that. Okay, so seat's mounted. I've bolted the bottom hole at the back of the bracket. At the front here we can see the second hole at the front of the seat. I also moved the seat slider forward 45mm between the edge of the seat slider and the edge of the extrusion here. I found by doing that, needing to make adjustments to the actual seat bracket itself, I was able to pull the seat bracket forward and undo it, as well as push it back and undo it with the Allen key there. Okay, so moving on to the pedal deck now. First, starting with the side plate, we have two T-nuts, one in the top slot, one in the third slot down. I'm just going to use the edge of the extrusion here as a reference, slide it over and get everything level. Okay, next, so we're going to be installing these here. I believe these are a type of ratchet screw to basically do up and undo the pedal plate brackets if need be. Okay, so we've mounted everything except for the actual heel plate itself. Basically had to put each part in individually. It was also quite tight between the two plates. Very hard not to scratch any of the paint off. Wedging it in there, it's all worked out. So we'll get this plate mounted up now. So this is Track Racer's new triple freestanding monitor design. I received an email about 2 weeks ago, so it's going to be interesting to see how durable it is and really what's different about it. the guys at Sculptech, and they helped me out. Alright, so that brings us to the end of our first video for building a sim rig. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and drop a sub down below. If you've had your own experience building a cockpit and a monitor stand, please leave a comment in below. I'd love to know your thoughts and what your experience has been. Catch you on the next one. See ya!